Hi, good evening and welcome once again to the Gildarie Freddie Show right here on Facebook. We also coming to you live on YouTube. You can get it on the Guyanese Critic page right there. Once again, welcome. It's a crack of a game tonight, cricket. Well, let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. And, Jamaica Towers going straight through to the finals because I know that the Amazon Warriors going to pull out all stops here. We're rooting for them. Today, Freddie and I would have spoken to you guys and tell you that we put aside a couple of days of the week. We're hoping to change the format somewhat, and it is your turn. We've been doing a lot of talking. We want to hear from you tonight, like the last night when we had Mr. Naim Chan talking about cricket. It was good really hearing from you about cricket and what is going on around the world and the impact of cricket in Guyana. Tonight, we want to hear from you on issues surrounding our country, the future of our country, how it's been, how things were happening. We also want to put yourself maybe put yourself in some scenarios. If you had a moment with the president, maybe 2 minutes with the president, and you had to probably suggest to him and say, "Sir, I want you to do this for us. It's going to dramatically improve our lives." What would some of those things be? Tonight, I want to say not only welcome to the many thousands of people who have been joining us every 3 days a week, every week, but also those in Guyana, in right within the Caribbean, in Brazil, and so on. I would also want to say welcome tonight once again to my co-host, Freddie Kissoon. Freddie, welcome. We jump straight into it because we want to open the lines in a very short while, so we could hear from our people.
Okay, I hope the operators are putting the phone number.
Yes.
If they're listening to me, please put the phone number on the screen. We have said twice before on this program that cricket or no cricket, we have an obligation to people who look at this program and not interested in cricket. I did say that democracy and obligation are not based, I don't sit on a foundation of numbers. If one person in their living room has been looking at this program the past 2 months and want to see it and look forward to it, then numbers do not matter. We have an obligation to people, whether it's 5 people or 5,000 people. So, with the CPL final on Friday, we are still going to be here. I was on the seawall this afternoon with my dog, and I left there around little past 6, and there were quite a number of people there. So I said to myself, those people aren't going to cricket. And by the time cricket starts, they won't be looking at cricket. So the point is, there are people in a population of maybe 1.5 million, or maybe more, just about 2 million. I'm assuming that the population of Guyanese, wherever they are in the world, is about near to 2 million. So there are people that will be looking forward to programs other than cricket. So this evening, please send your questions to the Facebook page of Gildarie or Guyanese Critic, and call us on the phone and tell us what you would like to talk about. I need to tell you that you have to be circumspect. You cannot hide behind a mask and criticize people personally. So let's be analytical and let's hear what's been happening to you. Since this program started and we opened the lines a few weeks, there have been people that have been calling me, including today, about an elderly gentleman and his wife who cannot get a birth certificate even though they applied since June. Those are the things that we need to hear about. Now, we may not be able to get you redress, but you say it on the air. So let's hear from you and send in your questions to Gildarie. So in the meantime, when you're ready to call us, Gildarie and I could hold the fort, so to speak.
Thank you very much, Freddie. And of course, we can't start this program without saying that we're praying we're hoping that all is well with our sisters and brothers. We have many friends in Florida, in the area of Florida, U.S., and taking a harsh beat in certain parts of it from hurricane this evening. Very strong winds, and they're saying important flooding and power outage. So we're praying with you guys this evening. Freddie, and I think the number is 231-2982.
Keep
In the
repeating that.
meantime, 231.
Please ask the operator to put it on the screen.
231-2982. In a very short while, could I ask my operator to come make sure that he puts our get my live up on my phone? I can't see it, but you guys start coming in. 231-2981. 231-2982. Freddie, in the meantime, while we are waiting those calls to come in, we today I saw an interesting something. You remember that those claims that were made by the opposition and submitted to GCOM in 2020? We would have seen that there were claims about dead people allegedly voting and so on. GCOM came out with an interesting statement today, again, repeating, and they're saying very clearly that this is a matter for the court. They're saying that this is not a place for it, and this is why we're not dealing with it. All right, let's go straight to the call. Good evening, caller. You're on the air. Could you lower your volume, please? Could you lower your volume on your phone or whatever you're looking at on?
Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, sir. Go right ahead.
You know, it's about 15 months now, right? I've applied for a refund of over $1 billion a year. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. We listen to you.
And every time I make an inquiry about it, they say they're going to call me when they're ready. And it's about 15 months now. So I don't know what else to do.
15, you overpaid NIS.
For about 7 months.
And 15 months now, you haven't got your money back. What is due to you?
Yes, I applied for a refund since the 1st of July last year.
Okay, you have to, if you care to, you have to give us your name and number.
Yes, you like to have it now?
Yes, sir.
Kissoon
Kissoon
Dayal Singh,
yeah.
B-I-S.
Yeah, I can spell that.
There's one, is right?
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah.
They are, you know, the number now?
Yeah.
B181.
That's your NIS number, right?
Yes.
B1.
You hear it?
Yeah, B1.
81. 30.
260.
Yes.
Well, we will do our best. What you need, what this program needs, but it doesn't have the resources, is for someone to make those notes, and they're responsible for passing on to the different ministries, different corporations, different private sector organizations. Gildarie and I do not have the resources. If I make a call to our NIS tomorrow, I'll be spending money out of my own pocket because I have to pay for those cell calls. Now, an organization like the Guyana Human Rights Association, they get international funding, they have a building in Brigham. These are the kind of organizations that should be helping people like you. You don't know the disgust I feel with some people in this country that masquerading as civil society and interested in bringing about justice and improving the rule of law. Gildarie and I, if we make those calls on your behalf, we have to spend it from our own pocket. That's the difference with when you have human rights groups and consumer groups in Guyana. They are funded so they can make these kind of investigations. But I will call the NIS tomorrow, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
And another thing, hello?
Yes, go right ahead. We listen to you.
You know, I really look forward to this program, you know.
All right.
And another thing, another comment is that those opposition members that you have on your program, they're bullies, man. If you look at how they get elected and pointing the fingers at you, they come to war.
Well, the good thing about this country, we have we hoping to have, or we think that there's a country of democracy. Everybody has their views. Freddie has his views. I have my views, and we.
But don't let that bother you, sir.
Right.
We can deal with that.
Yeah, we could deal with that. So thank you very much.
I just want to say to callers, there are many callers who don't understand how the technology works. I've been listening to Action Line when I was a young man. If you call in, you cannot have the TV loud so you can hear yourself on the TV. There's a feedback. So listen, please. If you're calling, you have to tune down the volume. You can go afterwards on YouTube and hear yourself, but you have to tune down the volume. The number is 231-2982. Let me repeat that, and I'm asking the operator to put that on the screen.
It's on the screen.
231-2982. Let's hear from you. Let's talk about anthropology, economics, politics, banking, human rights, opposition, PPP, PNC, foreign policy.
People talk about anthropology. I like that. Freddie, it is unbelievable, this whole cricket thing. I was reading something from Barbados today. In the meantime, we're waiting those calls to come through. It is interesting to see that even Barbados is looking keenly at Guyana's stance. I can't help but look at some of the decisions being taken by our government, not only in the area of the economy and their policies and so on, but this is a very bold decision taken by the Irfaan Ali government with regards to cricket, and looking at it for the next 3 years and investing so heavily in it. And you see this country being galvanized as a whole. It's interesting looking at it, and as an analyst yourself, I would love to hear or see you write on these issues. Some of the decisions being taken at critical time, like opening the economy when the pandemic was just not fully over yet, and the government took a decision about lowering some of the restrictions at the airport and so on. These are some of what I'm speaking about, Freddie. Is these are decisions taken at critical moment that has to do or has been impacting on the future of this country, and that I think is good for an analyst who's looking into the legacy of a president. It's interesting.
I think with the oil money and a resurgent opposition that intends to create strife, the government was very strategic in these things that you have just adumbrated, that spend money, it's Keynesian economics. The state should spend money and it has a feedback. And we're seeing the feedback now.
Absolutely. A caller on the line. Let's go right ahead. Caller, you on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good night. How are you tonight?
Good night. Pretty good, sir.
Okay, I'd like you to find out these traffic lights on the East Coast where they have the camera. Is those cameras working? Because several times when I drive, I see minibus and car just jumping those red lights.
Freddie, yes. That's all, sir?
No, one more thing.
Sure.
I think the government should put these speed yes, I hope they put this speed thing to cut this camera on the East Coast, because I think that will stop most of the accidents. Because sometimes I be driving and I drive according to the law, and I see just everybody just passing me.
I agree with you, and I think that this has been thinking. So we're going to answer you off here. Thank you very much for that.
One more thing.
Sure.
These tint on this vehicle, I see a lot of taxi, private car, and I just ask them how come them get tint if this minister give them all the tint.
No, sir. And I will answer you that off the
I
air.
see the policeman stopping none of them.
Yes. Thank you very
Because I have
much.
my car, you can see through and through.
Yep.
But these rest of people have some dark skin, you can't even see them inside, front and back.
I agree with that. Thank you very much. Freddie, and these are things that people are talking about. You know how many hours a day that you spend on the line or in the line along those corridors, the East Bank, the East Coast, wherever you're driving, and the kind of frustration that you're under because people are not towing the line, people are doing everything, and the police, I think, is either we have a shortage of police or people just say, look, the status quo has been this for a long time, let's just continue with it. Your thoughts?
I think it's a manpower problem because they have to have people monitoring the cameras. Now, I don't know the command center. Anyway, let's
Yes, let's go right ahead. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Kemar Sokram. I live in U.S. I'm calling. I have an issue. I tried to call Freddie Kissoon a few times. I didn't get through to him. I would like to have if I can get a number for like WhatsApp, so I can get to talk to someone. I mean, I have a serious issue going on at LBA on the railway embankment. I am investing in Guyana, and they want people to come back there to invest. And this is what the people is doing. They have a rum shop at the LBA railway embankment, and I have live camera there, picking up everybody coming and urinating from my place and parking there. So I would like to have a WhatsApp number so I can able to talk to like Gildarie. I know Freddie Kissoon don't have one, but if Gildarie has one, if I can get a WhatsApp number, we'll be really appreciative of it.
Thank you very much. You can take my number.
I can give you my number, and I can give you my number on here. I don't mind that.
All right, give it to me quickly.
914 662 7053. My name is Kemar Sokram.
Got you. I get hold of you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
God bless. Bye-bye.
yes, as I was saying, I have the phone ring.
It's going to keep ringing.
But I
Just
was
one
saying
thing before you say anything.
about the
yeah.
going through a red light.
We seem to be having some problem with the Facebook. I'm not sure because I can't get Facebook on my phone. If you're trying to get us, you get us on YouTube, the Gildarie on Guyanese Critic on YouTube. You could also get us on Daybreak News, THEY Break News on Facebook as well. And in the meantime, I'm not sure if the Guyanese Critic you could get it on there. Let's take another call. Yes. Yes, good day. Yes, good day. Good evening. You're on air.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Pretty good, sir. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Can I get, may I like to talk to Gildarie and,
You're speaking to both of them. Here, lower your volume in the background, please.
okay, thank you. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night.
We got a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I speaking with, please?
Both Freddie and Gildarie. I don't know who else is in the studio. Freddie?
Okay, thank you very much,
Yes.
sir. Sir, I've been listening to your program, but I'm not so sure if you might talk with you.
Yes, sir.
We're from Westboro. Hello?
Yeah, you go ahead. Go right ahead. Talk.
Yeah, I'm living at Woodley Park, West Coast Borbies.
Mm-hmm.
I've been landlocked since 2019 to now. I called in the government, I went to the NDC.
When you say landlocked, what do you mean?
I get landlocked. I get no way to pass, no way to walk after 15 years.
You mean that there's two houses between you and there's no passageway or no driveway, nothing?
Oh, sir. I get some documents to show that there is a proposed street where the people survey and get transport. And nobody never come, the minister in there come, and he tell me to take the matter to the court. I'm a farmer. Right now, I'm doing a grind seasoning business. Right now, I get it registered. I'm going to do the grind seasoning business name, nip it in the bud one Guyana. And when I get no way to go. But then the process, me done by machine and everything. And I tried to get down to Mr. Critic, and he told me that let me go to Mr. Nanlal. But sir, me don't know much about law and thing, and me, scared. And
No. Mr. Nanlal is a very approachable person.
Yeah,
in fact, during his time in opposition, he would have represented quite a number of rice farmers on different issues.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you want, if you give me a number, I could probably ask his technical people to probably call you.
Yes, sir.
Give me a number, sir.
613
613
816.
All right. And your name, sir?
Dear Raj Matadin Kal Akbar.
Dear Raj
Sir,
Matadin.
yes,
All right.
I have a next matter.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to ask Mr. Freddie Kissoon, the greatest in this land. A man who has been following since I was a youth. Can any man prescribe for property which he is not upon?
What is the question?
Any man what?
Can anybody prescribe for property which he is not on?
Yes, it's called prescriptive rights.
No. He's asking, could you make a claim for property in which you are not
Can a person prescribe
don't have
for property
possession, or you're
that
not
he is not upon?
on that
He is not on
you're
the
not on that land?
No, sir.
Prescribing.
No, prescriptive rights
Yes.
is when you apply after long occupation of the land, you apply to the courts through your lawyer to have ownership of it. But if you never occupy the land, even if though it's next to you, you can't apply for prescriptive rights. No.
Okay. Can you give me hearing now, please?
Yes, sir.
But here is this now. Sir? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we listening. You go right ahead. You continue talking.
There is a guy in my village here, a half brother of mine, apply for prescription without an official gazette and without a notice and a matter trial in court. All the problem you get away school for visits, sir. Over 9 years I run to the court. I went into the ICU for 5 days and 5 nights. And I come out back, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And this matter is before the court. And me up in the land 28 years. I'm one of the best cash crop farm you get in West Bobby, sir. Come, invite both of y'all to come and get a look at my environment and see what happened with me.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
You don't have I don't know who is the parliamentary representative of the ruling party for that area, Woodley Park. Is Woodley Park, you said?
Yes, sir. Jafar Ali.
Mr. Jafar Ali.
Yeah,
We could probably have a chat with him.
Well-
Did you talk to him?
I talked to him, sir, but these people are playing a deaf ears upon me, sir. Come see me situation. Very bad.
All right, okay.
Very, very bad.
All right.
We have your number.
3 liars take me case, sir, and every man that try to put me down.
All right. You had lawyers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well,
we're gonna get hold of Minister Nanlal's technical folks, and we're gonna ask them to make contact with you, and let us see where this goes from here.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Right.
enjoy the show every day.
okay. You
Every
take
day.
care.
You're sitting next to a great man.
He's great.
Don't worry with that. Don't worry with that. So you
All
take
right.
care.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Good night.
Yeah. And if
Freddie,
it
this is I don't know. You know, one of the problem he's pointing to there, just before we go to the phones, our courts, we need to have a discussion on that, because we seem to be seeing years and years and years.
I will
It's
tell you about my
unbelievable.
own problem with the court.
Yes. Good evening, sir, or good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Gildarie, and good evening, Mr. Kissoon.
Good evening, madam.
I am calling tonight, pleading for the public servants. All of us are faced with rising cost of living, and it's commendable that the government could pay attention to fisher folks. They need assistance. Rice farmers get fertilizer subsidy, they need assistance. The government seems to be turning a blind eye to public servants. Why we have to wait until the end of the year, like if we throw in box to be given some kind of monies at the end of the year? Things are hard. We are suffering. I want to know if you can use your platform to plead on behalf of the nurses, the teachers, and the public servants. I was looking at a clip today where somebody brought up the 2017 or 2018 budget when our honorable president said, I am in support of the GPSU. They must be given $100,000 as the minimum wage. And so he has the golden opportunity now to support the same GPSU that he supported so vehemently when they were in opposition for that short time. So please help us. Please use your platform and plead our thank you for affording me a hearing.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
You have my understanding. Definitely, you have my absolute understanding of your position. I don't think any person, I don't think any decent patriotic person would argue that public servants don't deserve a pay increase or something substantial. I don't think there's any Guyanese citizen that would deny that. Speaking for me, you have my understanding.
Okay, Mr. Kissoon, you taught me politics 100 at UG, so I know you're a man of that helps. So I'm seeing if you can use your corner to help us.
Yeah, well, you came through, and I'm sure people are listening. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Freddie, here we go again. Another student, you're tremendous, man.
You know,
this should put you sore.
You know, much people coming here in the future. We have to tell people viewers who are looking. We've got some interesting guests coming on. The mayor and his deputy, the brother of Dr. Walter Rodney, will come and speak about his experience. That man was in a car when his brother was assassinated. Put yourself in his place. That's someone that I work with in Grenada, and we were caught in the war in Grenada. A fine gentleman. When we were leaving Grenada, we were stranded, and he loaned my wife and I some money that we were grateful to. Of course, we paid back. I always remember Donald for that. So we'll have Donald Rodney. The president has confirmed that he's coming. We have a whole set of interesting guests lined up. Security advisor to the president.
We may have I'm being told that the opposition leader will be coming to the program as well. So let us see what happens. Good evening. Good evening, caller.
Hi, good evening. I just called to find out about this youth parliament thing. Youth group, this youth thing they had the other day. How were these youth selected? Where's the transparency in this? It just seemed like an extension of the government and its elites and their friends and families. What does that say to all the youths out there? You know?
I don't know, but could you give us a little more context as to what you're speaking
But hold
about?
a second. Are you still on the line?
Yeah.
I'm not too certain. We had as one of our guests here, Dr. Josh Kanai, and I think he is the president of that. But he's an opposition figure. He's a chairman of an opposition party called United Republican Party. Maybe off the phone, I can give you Dr. Josh Kanai's number. I don't want to give it on the air because I don't think I have that.
The point I'm saying, why do I have to call him to know about it? If this is a youth council that's supposed to represent the national, the youths in the nation, where's the transparency in it?
Well, shouldn't he be, is it obligatory of him to offer you an explanation? And should you not, I am not disputing what you're saying. I'm just saying that we had one of the guests in this program who I think is the chairman of that body, and he is an opposition politician. But
well, let us maybe what we could do is the technical folks here. We could probably mute, do whatever you got to do. And could you give the gentleman, Mr. Josh Kanai's number? Maybe they could have some clarification, because that's an interesting thing. I don't know much about youth parliament and the body. We could probably we have to do some.
It's not the youth parliament. It's the youth council that was formed.
Yes, the youth council, not the youth parliament.
Yeah.
Are we gonna find out? We're gonna try to find out a little more on that. To be honest, I did not pay much attention to that.
No, this is interesting. Are you on the line still?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
This is interesting. I was on the seawall with my dog last week, and a gentleman, a young man and his wife came up to me, and the wife sat while he spoke to me. Now, I can't call his name and where he works. He didn't give me permission. But he raised that very issue you're raising. So I think it's an issue that Dr. Josh I was just there walking my dog, and this guy came up to me, and we were talking. He said he wanted to engage me in politics because when he was a student at UG doing journalism, the class invited me, and I came and I spoke, and he started to talk. And then he raised this youth council thing, which he said needs to be more transparent. Now, I am not making any pronouncements on that because I think one has to ascertain the facts. But you're the second person that raised this with me. The young man did raise it with me on the seawall last week. I have his image in my face right now.
Thank you very much for that, Carlo. We're going to get somebody, our technical guys are going to give you Mr. Kanai's number off here.
I don't know how much help that would be. It's just.
Okay, good. You have Josh's number?
I have Josh Kanai's number.
We're gonna give it to you. 1 second. Okay. You could give it to him.
I could give it to him. It's muted?
Yeah, it's muted.
That number wasn't broadcasted.
No. Okay, good. Our apologies there. We had to give the number to the gentleman. Let's take another call quickly. Yes, good evening. You're on the air. Hello? Hello?
Yes, hello? Hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Go right ahead.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, I have two questions for Freddie. Number one, at one point in time, did he support this guy Duncan?
Where's Duncan?
No?
Who's Duncan?
I think Sherwin, whatever his name is, the guy in Parliament, Sherwin Duncan or something like that?
Sherwood Duncan.
Continue your question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Did you support him one time, yes or no?
The question is not framed effectively. I supported the AFC, and he was an activist in the AFC. The way you frame the question as if I never had a personal relation with him. I knew him at UG, and it was just high and right. And even in the election 2015 campaign, I didn't have much to do with him. So I don't know him except we know each other. But I've never had any ongoing relation with him over the years. But yes, I would have supported the party that Duncan belonged to. Is that sufficient explanation? Hello?
In the spirit of time, I'm going to move on. But let me ask you another question.
Yeah, ask me any question.
People accountable.
Huh? I didn't get that.
You hold people accountable.
Well,
So you normally hold people in position accountable. You want them to be accountable to society.
well, I'm not.
No, he's asking you if I'm reading the call
I should hold
correctly.
Duncan
No,
accountable?
he's asking if it is you would accept that your job. I'm just putting it in my words. Your job is to hold the public or whoever it is that is in power accountable. He's asking you a question.
Is that what you're saying, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
You're saying that.
That is what I'm saying, yes.
Well, I think my role.
You heard the question.
I don't like the way. I'm not comfortable with how the question is framed. The use of words have both subliminal and overt meaning. When you say, if I hold people accountable, I don't like the personalized frame of reference. I would say my activism is to make sure people in power and people with status do the right thing, do the moral and legally right thing. I would put it that way. I would consider myself a human rights activist, and in that respect, I agitate for right over wrong. I think I'm more comfortable with the way I put it over rather than I would not say publicly I hold people accountable. I think that that has a little bit of arrogance to it. I don't know if that satisfies your
Freddie, in the spirit of time, let me get directly to my point. The guy that you work for, Glenn Lala,
yeah.
don't you think that he is doing a disservice to the poor people of Guyana? Yes or no?
No, I can't answer yes or no like that. I'm not in a court of law. Let me say this. You cannot ask me, to pronounce on whether Lal is doing a disservice or not because I am not part of the Kaicho News establishment. I think many people, I get emails, people stop me and they ask me to explain contradictions in Kaicho News, especially the drift of Kaicho News being anti-government. I cannot answer that as part of Kaicho. I can answer it as a political analyst. I can answer it as a Guyanese citizen. But I am not part of Kaicho News management. I'm a columnist, and it begins and ends there.
That's it, sir? Hello?
Freddie, in the spirit of time, no, Freddie, one more last question. In the spirit of time, both yourself and Gildarie had a guy on recently with a big head, with a lot of hair. Now, both of you gentlemen knows that right
Why are you describing people like that? You don't think you should be less personalized? A guy with a guy with big head and big hair. Shouldn't you be more modest in describing people? That's like saying somebody is fat, somebody is short. Why you want to describe the guy?
Let's get to the point. Come.
What's the point? What's the point?
The point is this. The guy, right now, you and Gildarie know that the biggest story in Guyana is this murder of this guy in front of Palm Court. You know that your guest that you had there is associated with one of the prime suspects. Why did you guys not bring that up to him? Is it because he controlled your show, both of you gentlemen?
All right. You want me to answer this directly? Freddie don't have to answer that. This show here, Freddie and myself, we don't care. I don't care. The president is going to be here next week. And you don't expect that he's going to get a walk in the park. The opposition leader is going to be here.
No, but when you finish, it's another way to answer that.
So I'm going to answer it directly. I don't care. Critic was here, and we facilitate this program, or the program has been facilitated on this platform here. Critic cannot walk into the studio, and I can tell you that, and I tell him to his face as well. He cannot walk into the studio and tell us what to say and what not to say. He dare not do that. So we would do within, maybe you could argue that you could say that we're not asking the right question, but that in itself needs to be placed into context. I'm saying to you that what you're suggesting there, we could ask 101 questions about so many other things.
But his premise, if you're listening, and we got to go now, I think you must admit we've been generous to you in that you've gone on. But your premise is misplaced. I have no evidence that the man that Critic is associated with has done anything. You cannot make that big leap and say because someone is accused that they're guilty. Secondly, what Critic presence has to do with the different association he has. I am sure that I have associations, Gildarie have associations, and you have associations that other people have approved of. We cannot go arrogating to ourselves how to judge everybody in this world. I think with that, I'm satisfied I've been explanatory enough.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any other points, Carlo?
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye.
Sorry for the hard questions.
No, that's all right. We're here.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think there's one other thing that the caller would have missed. There was a show in which Critic explained that issue. So you don't want to, how you say it, what our old folks would say, the goated it on.
But
that issue was raised.
No, but
ventilated.
you realize that if we decide not to associate with a person because they have a land matter in court in which an old lady say they're taking away her land, it hasn't been decided as yet. Anyway.
I'm going to answer the Glenn Lal question in a short while. Good evening.
Good evening. This is Freddie Kissoon.
Yes, it is. Yes, go right ahead.
I'm calling to ask Mr. Freddie Kissoon, why is it that he always got a problem with Mr. Borum?
With who?
Mr. Borum, Fox Borum.
Okay.
You know, I've observed something about both of these two political parties, and now a lot of people joining in now within these forums talking certain things. You know what is the problem that we have in this country? I observed that when the PNC is in power, they criticize the PPP. When the PPP is in power, they criticize the PNC. And you know what it causes? Today, we find ourselves in a situation that we are not going anywhere because we got to come away from that kind of behavior pattern. We got to stand up and know that we must talking about development and not playing from way back when and coming back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. It is like a plague to this nation.
I want to see if I get you straight there, caller. You're saying that there should not be any criticisms of the authorities, whether it be the government or the opposition, that are there. Are you saying that we should not criticize?
No, I'm not saying that there must not be criticism.
Uh-huh.
But for too long, one thing over and over and over and over. It's time we stop sitting down and being at each other's throats and try to do things that make sense to develop this nation. Because you know what I'm saying? For 54 years of independence, is the cooperative public of Guyana. I'm not seeing we getting anywhere from 54 years. And it's time we try something new. You know, it's so persistently people behaving in this manner. It's time we try to move away from, deviate from them kind of behavior patterns. We find ourselves just keep saying one thing over and over and over and over for decades. And it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't bring any progress.
Got you there, caller. Any other point?
Well, I am happy to know that I personally don't criticize any political party upon race.
Race? Who does that?
No, he said he doesn't criticize party
he doesn't.
based on race.
Based on race.
Right.
I give credit where it is due. Sometimes people say to me I'm a PPP, sometimes they call me an APNU. I don't know for what reason, because I'm a neutral person. I believe credit, they have to give credit where it is due. And if I grew up in a PNC home, you understand? And when I look at the coalition at times, when they were in office, and I pinpoint things that they have done wrong, my black vote is completed.
I got you there very clearly. All right. So thank you very much, Jay.
Before you go, you still on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more people like you in Guyana. I hope the next generation we will see more of you. This is a very young country, and I think people need to judge people on the basis of issues, judge politicians on the basis of issues, and not on the basis of ways. Keep your open mind going, sir, and someday call me and we'll meet and have a coffee. Okay?
On what number?
My number is 614-5927. I have a pen. 614-5927. And my email address is quite simple. Small letters. Fred, I'm sure you...
Yes, say the number again and get a pen now.
614...
5927.
And my email address is quite simple. Fred, everybody know Fred. Fred is a common name. And Kissoon is a common name in Guyana. Fred Kissoon at yahoo.com.
Okay.
Thank you very much, caller. Have a pleasant night.
You're welcome.
Freddie, I like that caller there for the simple reason that person's made a very fundamental point, which is,
But he
But
he started out
he started out a little weird, but
and he forgot about
But what were you saying? Look, let's look past that. Let's look forward, and I kind of
he's
I like that. Right.
He's on the right track.
Right.
We need more people like that. I mean, the man was saying that he's not PNC or PPP.
It is interesting that people are actually talking. Yes, we're getting the calls coming in right in. Good evening, caller.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Sir, can I please have Mr. Gildarie number, please? Mr. Freddie Kissoon number, please?
Yes, Mr. Freddie
you
is
have
very
a
popular
pen?
tonight. 614-5927.
614
5927.
You and 614-5927. You want my email address?
Yes, sir.
Start to write. Small letters. Join up. Fred Kissoon, join up. Fred Kissoon at yahoo.com.
Okay. Sir, I want to compliment this program. Why I'm complimenting this program for the last, I'm 57 years of age and I've never seen so much of progress ever in Guyana. So much. Under the Ali administration, the president of this country, he has done well, sir. I'm seeing that he is doing this regularization, and that is a major factor in this country. Over 15% of this nation is under poverty, sir. And I appreciate what the government is doing, and I thank you all for this program, because this program has hit the nail in the head, sir. Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
we
yes,
listen to
yes.
you. Go right ahead.
And please, sir, I'm kindly asking you to come and look at the guy at Woodley Park. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
God bless. Before we go to the next call, people come ask me all the time, Freddie Kissoon, let me address the issue of Glen Lal and Kiteshire News. I left last year.
Before
yes,
this going
I know. We're going to put it aside for a little. And people ask me what are my thoughts on Glen Lal and Kiteshire News. And I say to them, I'm going to defend Glen Lal to the max and defend Kiteshire News because that's a right. I may not necessarily agree with, I believe in traditional newspaper and the news and the way that it's presented. Go after the news presented to the people, let them make the judgment on that. So you have to report everything. So I would defend Glen Lal, I would defend Kiteshire News. That's the right to do that. I may not necessarily agree with the way that the newspaper is formatted, and that is my take on it. Thank you very much. Okay. I think, let me see if I get a caller. Caller, you in the air, good evening. Okay, we missed that one there. Freddie, it's 9:20 in the evening. How are we doing with cricket? I thought the Tallows, the Tallows made 226. Good evening, caller, you in the air?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Well, guys, I commend you for this program. And, yeah, I commend you all on this program.
We thank you very much, sir. Okay, any other points?
Yeah, and Mr. Jack Dio, Mr. Jack Dio and Mr. Ali, and Mr. Ali is doing a very good job in Guyana, and I praise them.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna have this same format on Friday evening, but the problem is we not get the hosts not getting chance to speak about. We got things we want to talk about. But the public, of course, the public, they don't get a chance. We're gonna be here next week. We're gonna be. So I guess but there are things I wanted to talk about, but.
So many other things. So we still have some time here. 231-2982, 231-2982. Let us hear from you. It's your night tonight, folks. And
it will be your night tomorrow evening.
Yes, every night.
While the cricket is going on, we will be here.
Thank you very much. Good evening, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good evening. I'm here once more again to say something. When Mr. Bourne made himself an executive president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, I overheard a lot of people claiming that he was a bad man, make himself an executive president. And executive power is one of the things that are destroying this nation, this country. Here I am saying this now. We're having immunity both in office and out of office.
Yes.
From Mr. Bonham, made himself executive president. Everybody says it was wrong, but nobody have any intentions of changing it. Why is it everybody enjoying this power? And the citizens of this country is not calling on them to deal with constitutional reform to get rid of this power. This power is too much of power, so much getting people drunk and crazy.
All right, got you there, caller. So thank you very much again for coming through, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you very much. And Freddie, I just for the sake of the callers, I want to say something again. With regards to the format of this program, I view it. Freddie has his views, and I got mine. When it comes to development in Guyana, when it comes to having this program try to be as balanced as possible, since I'm sitting in my days at Kaiser News, I don't care who's in power. I can remember 2009, Kaiser News was very critical of the PPP. In 2015, it was critical of the PPP. In 2020, when the APNU coalition government was there, they got hell because democracy was under threat. I think that's the way that the newspaper people work. That's the way media people are supposed to work. I can't change my ways for nothing. Freddie's going to have his views. I'm going to have mine. As far as anybody comes sitting here, we're going to be asking the hard question. At least I am. He could speak for himself. So callers, we have a couple minutes more. 231-2982. Let us maybe, Freddie, if you want to say something in the meantime until we interrupted again.
Yes, I guess. But what I have discerned since March 2020 with Freddie Kissoon is I have been.
Good evening, caller.
It's their turn.
Good evening, Mr. Freddie. Good evening, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
I just want to make a few points quickly. I do hope that when Mr. Ali come on your program and when Mr. Nati come on your program, you watch them the same way like how you always watching them normal people. I hope you watch them good and lead them it good and let them move this country forward and plug in at a minor shake hand. Deal with them apparently. Let them look up the constitutional reform and all these judiciary system and all that. They're looking out. I just watch this program every night. And I'm looking to see.
We got you very, very clear there. Any other points, sir?
I think he got cut off.
I'm sorry with that.
No, we didn't cut him off.
So we got, like I would say, about 5 minutes more. Quickly,
but I don't understand why aren't women calling in the program?
Intimidated by you?
They got to be intimidated by you.
No, man.
I'm too old to intimidate women. Women are intimidated by ill-mannered young men. There is a theory about life, that the older you get, you're mellow, you're mature. A young lady looking at crossing the road would probably ask
Good evening, caller. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I was listening to the program sometime, but I have one issue. I noticed that politicians be saying that Guyana is an apartheid state, something that I totally disagree with. What I would say, we have racial discrimination on both sides. Not a one-way thing. But apartheid is a whole different setup, meaning and everything. It's a bit more drastic, draconian method one race use another race. So I don't believe politicians should be preaching this thing on apartheid state. We don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
We should abandon that nonsense.
I agree with you. I must say I agree with you, but I have another take on it. I want to discuss it as soon as you're off. That's it, sir?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming through. Right. Freddie, and I agree. This is something I saw the opposition leader went somewhere to the United States. Should we take one last
Yes, of course. The program is for the public.
Good evening, caller. You're near. Good evening, caller.
We got 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, go.
I want to bring something to your attention, if just to make awareness.
Sure.
There are some what do you call it? Some Chinese businesses. These people came from China, not even a citizen of Guyana, and they're treating people who are citizens of Guyana like slaves, like don't want to pay the NIS, don't want to pay them what's rightfully theirs, like the minimum wage and all this sort of thing.
You know of cases like that, sir?
What's that?
You know of cases like that?
Yes.
Could you ask them? Our numbers are very much out there. Freddie Kissoon and myself. If you know of any incidents like that, cases like that, we'd like to know about them so we could raise it to the authorities.
I certainly do, sir. I shop all the time, and these people complain to me. One of the things the Chinese do not give, and I hate using ethnic term Chinese, but the Chinese-owned supermarkets, they do not give the annual leave. I know one supermarket that does not give the annual leave. That is illegal behavior. But they do not even charge, they do not pay VAT. They don't give you a VAT receipt. I think the authorities will have to do something. I suspect maybe because they are foreigners and they invest in the APNU, and the present government probably don't want to raise a hornet's nest. Didn't want to raise a hornet's nest.
The reason why and you're right, Freddie, the reason why I'm raising this is that these people treating these people really bad, threatening to fire them, don't want to pay their NIS, do not want to pay taxes, do not want to do anything, and they pay them below the minimum wage. That's not right. And they treat them like slaves. They come from a foreign country, they are foreigners, and they're treating people like the citizens of Guyana, like nobody, and that's not right. But Gildarie, you said I should complain. How should I complain on this again?
No, if you can complain to the Ministry of Labor or any other authorities that are invested in this or who has a jurisdiction over that, myself and Freddie would be more than willing to take some of these complaints. And if those people want to come talk to us, it could be any company, not only Chinese company. We have received so many complaints about American companies that are here.
The Chinese supermarkets are overdoing it. The Chinese stores are overdoing it, man.
We've heard it.
Overdoing it.
Yes.
They are overdoing it.
You guys can get hold of us and let us know. Let us know about it. All right.
But listen, sir, don't go off don't go off the line yet. People like you, I say this to countless people who send me emails. People like you need to, approach policymakers. Write letters to the papers. I'm sorry we didn't. I have to apologize. I must say, now that you're on the line, I have to apologize that we did not put this question to the Minister of Labor when he was here. These things happen. You get into the vortex of the program and you miss some of these things. But we should have confronted the Minister of Labor on this same question you've raised. I know about it. I know cases where I live near to a Chinese supermarket, and that young lady, I go in there all the time because the supermarket is near to where I live at Turkine, and that lady told me she has not got annual leave for years, never. When I threatened to take her case, obviously she backed down because they'd fired the poor girl. She has 3 children.
Exactly what they're doing. They threaten you, and then they fire you, and they take another person, and they do back the same thing all over again. Something needs to be done, and they need to treat people with respect. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to text you guys, or I'm going to call you guys separately on this to give you, like, exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to put it over the air. And, you know, so I'll get back with you shortly. But just want to highlight the problem that's going on right now.
I thank you very much for that call. Have a pleasant rest of the evening.
You too. Take care. Bye.
I think we...
Yes, I think that's it. No more calls this evening. Freddie, I think we run out of time on Friday.
Well, we here Friday evening.
I think we might have to look at the format and maybe give it some more time because people really, you know what is interesting? What is interesting is that there's so many people that have so many complaints, and I don't think you're going to have enough time ever.
Just tell that caller we've closed.
Right.
We overtime. Our operator told us we overtime. So, I thought you would have spoken to them.
Our apologies there. We've been told that we're out of time. It is going to be the end of a very good night. I think we are getting there to raise the kind of issues that I am looking forward to, that we are probably going to be interested in better in this country. We are going to be back on Friday, same kind of program again. Let us see how it goes from there. We're going to try to improve the phone system. We're trying with it. We get a hang of it, Freddie and myself, and we're going to try to improve, take it to the next level. Freddie, any words very quickly?
No, we're out of time. I don't want to impose on our operator. We're just talking about labor exploitation. I've never exploited anyone in my life. The operator time is 9:30.
Yes.
So that's it. We're going to be here on Friday, cricket or no cricket. Talk to us. Raise anything you want. Tell Freddie Kissoon anything. Well, I can't speak for Gildarie. You can ask me any question. Gildarie has to say if you can ask him any question.
Freddie, good evening, folks. Remember to be very safe on the roadways tonight. It is our call, it is our wish that we could use some common sense, and let us use common sense. We need it. So have a pleasant rest of the night. Good luck to the Amazon warrior. And folks, regardless what happened, back your team. Have patience with them. We're trying.